The screen share. Hello, and welcome everybody to another cast in Alchemy League Season 9. We are joined by ThNagraj. He is one of our Alchemy League Season 9 players. And we've got a couple of sets for you guys today that should be pretty interesting. They're on the higher side, I would say. We are going to be showing off first ThNagraj versus Lordek, so our 9th and 14th seeds. So between mid 1700s and mid 1800s of a match. And then after them, we'll do J-Skills versus Ice-T. So it's actually a pretty big gap here. And J-Skills has actually been given some handicap for this match to try to even things out just a little bit, because J-Skills is upper 1700s and Ice-T is a 2K1 player. So we're joined by ThNagraj. Nagraj, say hello.
Hello everyone.
All right, so
Welcome to the stream.
He's here and he's going to help us provide some commentary. ThNagraj is also participating in the league. What can I tell you about these players? Lordek has been with us since Alchemy League Season 4, and he is from Italy. He is good friends with Hydra. They're in the same clan. They know each other. J-Skills is an American player. Last season was his first season in Alchemy League, and he came back, which was great because last season was a little not competitive with the fortified tower. It was too easy to cheese the tower. But he saw potential in our system and he came back, so good on him for that. ThNagraj has been with us since last season as well. Similar story with the fortified tower. He is from Russia. And Ice-T has been with us since Alchemy League Season 4. And he is from Germany. Alright, so we'll go into the draft now. Alchemy League is a 1v1 tournament. It's played on custom maps, or at least we try to play it on custom maps. So for ThNagraj versus MacDeck here, these guys are drafting for their choice of a play L2 or a play L3. Doesn't matter what they play. That's kind of whatever they mutually decide they want to do. And if they don't agree, then they at least have to do the minimum. So they ban 5 civilizations right off the bat. Not they, really. The admin. Randomly. It bans. And then they each take turns globally banning 2 civilizations. And then they take turns picking 3. And then they snipe 1 hidden and in parallel. And then they pick 3 more. So the result of that ban has left ThNagraj with Malay, Celts, Magyars, Goths, and Vikings. A lot of infantry civilizations there. Whereas MacDeck has been left with the Romans, the Huns, the Japanese, the Koreans, and the Chinese. So MacDeck sniped the Dravidians from ThNagraj, and ThNagraj sniped the Portuguese from MacDeck. Thoughts about the draft, Nagraj?
It is interesting to see like that went all random thing for the draft. He didn't pick any save. He just went random pick on everything, and randomly he banned Portuguese as well. But surprisingly, he got a lot of good infantry save. I would say like MacDeck has better save selection right now because he picked saves. But if it is close map where like these people spawn closely, then infantry saves for that should be working better.
Yeah, I think infantry civs are underrated, but they do tend to be more powerful later in the game a lot of the time, and not so much early on with archers and knights and scouts and that sort of thing. Hey, ThNagraj is in the chat. We were just talking about how you're a big tough guy doing randoms for all of your civilization draft. All right, so having discussed the civilization draft, let's go in and cast the games now. It should be pretty interesting. Oops. What's that? I'm going to change the overlay here, and we'll get into the game screen share. All right, ThNagraj, I am on 0 seconds and ready to start whenever you are.
Yeah, we can start.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so in the red we have MacDeck playing as the Romans, and in the cyan we have ThNagraj playing as the Malay. All right, well, you know, just first impressions looking at this map. This map is a boom fest, except the players start like right next to each other. So on the one hand, you could say that this map is a boom map because you start with 2 town centers and a market to make your economy super smooth. But on the other hand, you know, somebody comes over here and gets a big castle on your gold pile. You might be in trouble, and there are lots of hills around the town center too. So what do you think, ThNagraj? You think this is going to be aggressive?
Based on their positions, I say this is very aggressive as well. So, and fast castle drop should be a viable option on this map. Seeing their positions and their civilizations, I think Malay is something I preferred here. If they are able to get a castle on one of those hills, and after that, like they can boom as well, and with their timings of age up faster, they should be able to do that pretty easily. Also, one thing, they are starting with a man at arms which has 6 attacks, so they can also disrupt someone booming, and they can easily scout. If they scout early and do a castle drop aggression fast, then they should be able to control the map.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this man at arms is a decent scouting unit, and and these guys are good. It's not like we're talking about 800 elo players here. These guys are going to find each other pretty quickly. But if they didn't have that scout, it could be pretty interesting, right? Because maybe you get to Castle Age and you boom up to 60 villagers, and then you're like, oh crap, my opponent's actually right next to my town, and that could get pretty wild. But as it stands right now, they have the potential to find each other in late Dark Age, early Feudal Age, at the latest, and you know, what they do with it, I'm not really sure. Now, the good thing for these guys, if you are a fan of aggression, the good thing for you is that these town centers are kind of right next to each other, and they're not, by themselves, they're not securing any resources. This town center might be kind of securing this wood line, but not really, depending on what ThNagraj makes. So, but it's a mega boom fest here, ThNagraj. Let me see if I can figure out how many here we go. So they're both at 21 villagers, you know, and they're not even 5 minutes into the game. So they they're going to be able to afford anything basically. There we go. ThNagraj has found MacDeck's. MacDeck is the same thing as Lore Deck. He's found his berries.
Yeah, so he is the first one to find the opponent, and I think MacDeck hasn't found the opponent's base yet, but he can already assume which side he is. Both have a equal will count, but both are very much closer, so they should be able to do aggression. I don't think that's a good idea to mill the chickens there for MacDeck. Like MacDeck is going forward to get the chickens. Okay, I think I'm 1 second ahead of you. Hello.
Yeah, it's a greedy chicken mill, that's for sure. MacDeck has not found his opponent, so now that he's scouted his opponent, oh, he's laming the chickens. That's so mean. And ThNagraj fighting him off. Now the chickens still retain their meat, so it's not that big of a deal, but they're rotting, so it is going to waste a little bit of meat. But yeah, maybe MacDeck would have reconsidered that chicken mill if he knew how close his opponent is. But now MacDeck has the same knowledge that ThNagraj has, and look at him, he's even kind of patrolling this central area because I think MacDeck has got some gears in his head turning that he's going to do something up here.
I think he saw the barracks. That's why he is patrolling there because he is expecting man-at-arms, and with Malay, it should be viable option and one of the more uh, efficient strats to do as well. They get armor free as well, so that's why he is patrolling there, I
Now, I
guess.
think, fortunately for MacDeck, having two town centers, having two town centers is something of a nerf to the Malay, because ordinarily the Malay would be able to advance much more quickly, and you'd only have one town center pumping out villagers. But now you can have two town centers pumping out villagers to reduce the difference in villager discrepancy, the overall percentage. So while the Malay advance faster, they can still make villagers out of one of their town centers, and you can make villagers out of two of your town centers. So the relative amount of time is less that's saved for the Malay. MacDeck patrolling over here
Technically,
too.
yeah, technically it should, but seeing their idle TC time is more than like 4 minutes for MacDeck. He is still 5 villagers behind, 5 or 6 villagers behind, even upon reaching the feudal age at the same time, nearly.
Yes, MacDeck with 37 villagers and Kiritastrich with 43 villagers. Map is hyper-random, by the way. I don't know if I was very clear about that earlier. It looks like Kiritastrich has made some militia, and he's getting the man-at-arms upgrade now. These militia have the free armor that ThNagraj was talking about. So this is going to be a man-at-arms rush with a big eco behind it. Kiritastrich sending some villagers forward too. Oh, I love this. Man-at-arms plus
What
towers.
our Yeah, this is the aggression that I was talking. Like, if he keeps on putting aggression, there's not much space for Magdeck to fall back. His gold is forward. He has only one gold along with that, and also like all the berries is his forward. The only thing that he has safe is woodline right now.
Yeah, and Kiritastrich has safe wood as well. We see a counter tower from MacDeck here. Kiritastrich deleted his original tower and rebuilt it out of range. And I guess Kiritastrich is now going to... He is going to build a mill on MacDeck's second patch of chickens. MacDeck sending some villagers to batter down this watchtower. But because the man-at-arms are here, he can't really stick around. So this watchtower is going to be a good aerial denial watchtower. And it looks like Kiritastrich just got the range upgrade on it so that he can now engage MacDeck's tower. But luckily for MacDeck, he also has the range upgrade because he has a blacksmith and he can engage Kiritastrich's tower. So now Kiritastrich is going to build a second tower, I guess, to try and win this tower war.
Yeah,
MacDeck is on his
interesting to
gold.
see.
Go ahead, ThNagraj.
Yeah, interesting to see. While all this chaos was happening, Macdeck didn't queue up any villager. Also, there is a hole in his woodline, and Matams are in and killing wills. Does
Uh-oh.
he notice? Yeah, he noticed now. He notices now. He lost already 2 wills. So, he is already like 12 villagers behind in this.
Kiritastrich
So,
doing a pretty
he
good job
is.
of booming behind. Kiritastrich with 56 villagers to MacDeck's 42 villagers.
And Macdeck has no military. He has just 2 towers defending him. He was I think he is playing a greedy approach, and with this much aggression, he won't be able to counter it unless he makes any army.
Or goes up to the next stage, but I don't think he's really that close. Maybe he doesn't have the farms, or he just doesn't have the space. He could delete these walls in the back of his base and wall to the edge of the map instead. That would buy him some more space.
He can go to other places, but I don't think he has scouted that much to go to any other gold. I don't think he has scouted any gold. Yeah, any other gold behind he has scouted, but he cannot go because man-at-arms are there. and front golds are all being towered upon.
Yeah, he just has this one gold here. I wonder if Kiritastrich recognizes that this is MacDeck's only gold. Maybe Kiritastrich assumes that MacDeck is somewhere else on the map taking resources. Um, Kiritastrich's scouting is not that great. He just found MacDeck's town, but he hasn't really scouted behind. Kiritastrich doesn't know about this gold here, so that's why he hasn't swept in to try to deny it. If he knew about this gold, he would probably be building towers all over this hill. So MacDeck has been mining this gold and using it to buy stone.
From what I can see, they get only okay. No, they have stone piles, but for Magdeck, it's on the far end. He is not able to see the any stone piles or gold piles apart from the one he has below his TC. That's why he cannot build towers and towers again and keep on repairing. He's using market a lot to go up to next stage, idling up the TCs. But in this, he is like 22 villagers behind already, and this should not be a viable option. I think like that is a very good spot right now.
I don't know. I like the idea of MacDeck getting to Castle Age. You know, if he knows that he has the gold access, and Kiritastrich just discovered this gold. Um, yeah, so now Kiritastrich knows about the gold, and he might be more aggressive and try to deny it. But with Castle Age, MacDeck could make a siege workshop, and he could make some rams to start knocking down these towers, or maybe he could make knights, and he could go to Kiritastrich's base and counterattack, raid Kiritastrich, if you will. But this tower forest on his doorstep is very annoying. But these towers are really only denying his berries, his stone, and some forward farms. Other possibility is MacDeck might be able to just build a town center back here or something, but he doesn't really know about his other resources.
And these towers, like that, what has put on the hill, they have a higher elevation, so they are doing more damage. That's why he is losing, like Magdeck is losing all the tower battles as well, and they have garrisoned all the archers. So he is not idling that much to destroy the towers for Kirat, as Magdeck is does not have any military. He is just using villagers to garrison and bring down the towers.
Yeah,
So already 30 villagers behind, and garrisoning the villagers, idle the villagers is like a lot of idle economy.
Yeah, so to what ThNagraj is talking about is these towers have archers in them, not villagers. So MacDeck had garrisoned his towers with villagers, and they were idle because of that. So now he's in the Castle Age, but he's definitely got fewer resources than Kiritastrich, and Kiritastrich is almost to the Castle Age himself. And then he could build a university and get guard tower, and that would be very awkward for MacDeck. MacDeck did build the siege workshop as I predicted, though, and he's making a mangonel from it. I don't know if mangonel's the right thing to build, but he might be concerned about villagers shanking down a ram if it gets too close. Here's the university for Kiritastrich. MacDeck has built a second siege workshop, and he's building additional lumber camps to try to migrate his woodlines away from these towers. These towers have just received the Bodkin arrow upgrade. MacDeck moving in for repairing this mangonel right after it comes out. He has no safe gold, so any gold that MacDeck spends has to come from selling other resources. And he's just in a tough spot. The distance between these players really lent itself well to a tower rush.
His first mangonel is already down, being the guard tower already. Yeah, it's a GG. He doesn't have any place to go. He doesn't have any resources. He is like thousands goal behind, as well as everything. What he has is towered upon. So that's a
Yeah.
good call for GG.
GG, well done to Kiritastrich for recognizing the potential for tower rushing on this map, And Macdeck never developed any kind of military response in feudal age, and I think that was the wrong play. Maybe if he had gone archers, he could have prevented Kiritastrich from doing so much damage. Could have been a different game. Let's take a look at the statistics. So Kiritastrich with 14 kills and 5 deaths, razed 4 buildings and lost 1, and had a largest army of 13, and they were archers. Kiritastrich collected more food, wood, stone, and gold. Macdeck was first to feudal age and castle age. Kiritastrich explored more of the map and had twice as much research. Kiritastrich had nearly double, not, I don't want to say nearly double the villagers, but he had significantly more villagers, like 30 more villagers than Macdeck did. So, pretty decisive win from ThNagraj in this game. Any other comments before we move on to the next one, ThNagraj?
Yeah, I think based on what I see, like there will be a lot of aggression from here, and Magdak is not making military. He is trying to go for siege to counter everything, going fast castle on this map along with 2TC. I think he should be able to do that if he has gone any military, like he has counter tower to just push back. But if he had militaries, archers, etc., he might be able to do it in a good spot with the 2TC boom. Let's see what happens in the next map.
Yeah, a lot of people really get thrown off with the 2-town center build order. But ThNagraj came prepared to have a thrown off build order by playing melee. Let's check out the next game. Alright, so it's Vikings versus Chinese. Alright, so I am in and I am at 0 seconds and I am ready to go whenever you are.
Loading for me, just.
Sure.
And we are good to go.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, launch. Alright, look at this. This is a really pretty version of Hyperrandom here. This looks like a birch and oak forest with some bushes. And they get double town centers again. Oh my goodness.
And similar spawns again, like they have both the TCs in range of each other. So it's again the same. I think it must be a nightmare for Magdeck seeing the first game.
Yeah, this is really unlucky for Macdeck. Some people you can get unlucky on Hyperrandom. I mean, it's just that's how it goes. But at least this time, Macdeck has 2 things going for him to prevent a rush. The first is they start further apart, and the second is there is a ring of outposts around both of the towns. So if somebody comes in to rush you, you're going to see it coming from a long way away. Yeah, see, look at this vision. So,
and he has 2 sets of stone and gold this time, so he should be able to handle this aggression if he gets to.
That's true. The outposts here have scouted his resources a little bit better, and some of those resources are even back, so they should be easier to defend. And what do you think about this pull mark here? This scout. He has 4 attack, and he's got 40 hit points, and he's got some kind of aura effect that I don't fully understand. I think the aura effect for a pull mark. Do you remember what it is? I don't remember. Something about maybe improved attack rate for units within that range. I don't really know. If you're in chat and you know what this pull mark does that's special, let us know.
I don't think it does anything because it's related to, if I know, like it's related to the Age of Empires 1 civilizations like Archimedeans, etc. So it should be benefiting there, if I know correctly.
I don't think so, because when we were developing scouts for the French and Indian War season of Alchemy League, which is not next season but the season after that, We have a similar Chronicles unit that has been reskinned for the Iroquois Warrior. It may actually, I don't think it's this unit specifically, it's a different unit. And it buffs regular game Age of Empires 2 units. So in the 11th season of Alchemy League, our Iroquois Warrior is a reskin of a Chronicles unit that gives nearby units foot soldiers within 2 tiles, so infantry and archers. It gives them +2 pierce armor. So it's quite good. But it's also expensive, and the way that we set it up is it's pretty weak. So what I know that this pole mark has some aura effect within this circle, but I don't know what it is. But I know that it would affect regular Age of Empires 2 units if you could make them. Maybe the circle is specifically for some Chronicles unit, but I don't think so, because I think I tested this for Age of Empires 2. So this...
And Kirat is going to dock on his backside. He is thinking there is a water, like 4 lakes map. I don't know if he'll be able to notice there is no water, and I don't know what he'll do after realizing that.
Yeah, this may be a little premature to dock back here. There are only some oysters, and those oysters in and of themselves only have 59 gold in them each. So, not very lucrative. I think Kiritash is going to be disappointed. He's still making a couple of fishing ships to take advantage of those oysters, but I would not make any more than 2. I think 2 is too much. Now, Macdeck, for his part, kind of, I don't know, playing a little bit greedy here, pushing in the Ibex, or the Argali, in this case, as they are called, with his pole mark, instead of scouting his opponent to see what his opponent is doing. So it could be that Macdeck is very confident in the ability of these towers to detect a rush, but I would think after last game, Macdeck would, he'd be a little bit worried. He'd want to see what Kiritastrich was up to with his scout. And then, if it didn't look too threatening, then and only then push the Argalis in. But he really wants the Argalis. He wants the food. Maybe the food isn't that great on this map. I don't know.
Also, he has Chinese start, so he will have lesser food starting for him. He will start with 0 food. That's why he needs more food to keep having the villager lead. Although he doesn't have a villager lead right now because he was idle for a long time. His idle TC is very much.
Hey, Silencer 5186 asks, is this sudden death? I don't think so. I think that there is a small chance for Hyperrandom to be... No, actually, I don't think that there is. I don't think that there is a chance for Hyperrandom to be sudden death. But that, Silencer, now that you bring that up, that is a good point. Because Zetnus has been known, who's the creator of Hyperrandom, he's been known to create other victory conditions within Hyperrandom. For example, Regicide, you'll start with like a king that says defend the king or something like that, or says Regicide. And sometimes he'll start you with a wonder in Hyperrandom and it says defend the wonder. But I don't think that there is any sudden death configuration for Hyperrandom yet. But I can actually message Zetnus about that. Not necessarily to add it for our season of the league, but just for his map in general. He's very proud of his Hyperrandom map, and it is a good map. But since he originally made Hyperrandom, there has been a way to essentially not hard code, but enforce a sudden death on a map. So you could make the small chance that the map would be sudden death, essentially. So it'll generate a random number, and if that number is a certain amount, then it'll make the map sudden death. And I don't think he's done that, but it would be a good thing for him to do, potentially. But it could also interfere with other spawns, like if you get a nomad start. There may be a reason that he's not interested in it, but I will definitely suggest that. Because that would be a cool feature for Hyperrandom to have. To have a random chance of sudden death. Macdeck has built a barracks. That wasn't there before. Could Macdeck be planning some infantry aggression, or probably more so scouts? He's getting double bit axe, he's getting horse collar, and let's check Macdeck's resources.
He's building archery range as well.
Oh, he's going
So
ranges. Okay. So MacDeck is going to go Chinese archers. And what is Kirtastrich going to do? Kirtastrich is going to wall off. Look at him. He's built himself a mega wall here. He's built himself the Great Wall of Norway, or Denmark, or Viking Land. It's certainly not the Great Wall of China, because that's only something that MacDeck could make this game. And Kirtastrich is going to go Fast Castle, which I think is going to surprise MacDeck a little bit, because Kirtastrich was so aggressive during the previous game. Kirtastrich is already taking stone, so maybe Kirtastrich is planning on making Berserks. And Berserks are a powerful unit, especially when they're fully upgraded. It can be hard to deal with Berserks if you're not fully teched into the appropriate counter. Berserks are not the kind of unit that you can counter if you don't have a plan, basically. You're not going to counter Berserks by microing skirmishers, let's just put it that way. You might be able to counter mangonels by microing skirmishers, but... Oh, look at this! He's got pretty decent attack against this house, too. I think he, like, levels up as you go up in the ages. Maybe not. No. But he is doing good damage to that house. But I guess he gives up, decides not to pressure it further. He'll come back with some archers, and the archers will prevent Kirtastrich from building behind or repairing. So Kirtastrich is going to come repair this. Might as well, right? Big forests could make it hard to be aggressive and get in that way. What's that, ThNagraj?
I was saying like also like Kirat has made 4 fishing ships and he's taking oysters, and the map is in lot in favor of Kirat because all the relics are spawning near his outpost and inside his base. So if since it's a standard victory conditions, he can get all the relics and win easily, but just by sitting beside the walls.
That's true. Kirtastrich does have a big relic advantage. He's got relics here. He's got relic here. He's got another relic down here. So Kirtastrich with the map hacks. MacDeck, I don't know. These relics might as well be on the other side of the map right now. MacDeck does have a decent army. He's got 7 of these archers. He's got fletching. But MacDeck not really pushing in. MacDeck deciding to go Castle Age first. Seeing Kirtastrich playing passively. MacDeck, of course, knowing that Kirtastrich is on the stone. So MacDeck knows that Kirtastrich is up to a no-good fast castle. And I'm surprised he's not trying to get in somehow, some way, though. Like, why not? Why not show up here and do a little bit of extra free damage? But maybe he doesn't want to reveal the fact that he's gone archers to Kirtastrich. Maybe that's it. Let's see what Kirtastrich knows. Yeah, Kirtastrich technically doesn't know that MacDeck has archers. So Kirtastrich doesn't know that MacDeck has gone archers. I don't know where Kirtastrich's scout is. Maybe MacDeck killed it earlier, and we just missed it.
Oh, it's in the TC healing up.
Oh, okay. So he ran off from something. But Kirtastrich has not found MacDeck's base, and Kirtastrich doesn't know that MacDeck is going archers. So Kirtastrich has started building this castle here. And if MacDeck were just a little bit faster, you know, if he were coming in with Bodkin right now, he could actually do a lot of damage to this castle. But MacDeck still doesn't want to show that he has these archers. So he's just going to work on these outposts with his polemark. And the polemark everybody started with, so, you know, Kirtastrich isn't learning anything from this. Alright, here comes Kirtastrich out with his polemark. MacDeck pulls back. And Kirtastrich could find out about MacDeck's archer plans. So MacDeck getting crossbow now. And I would assume that he's getting Bodkin as well, but I don't see his blacksmith, actually. But we know that he must have it because he already got... Well, actually, he already got Bodkin. No, he already got fletching. And yeah, he has Bodkin. So wherever... Oh, there it is. It's hiding behind the archery range. So he has the upgrades. That's what I'm trying to say here. And he's going to show his archers now.
And
Now, I
Kirat
don't...
is also going for the relics, I assume, seeing he has made monks and he has a lot of relics near his base.
So
and he will
Kirtash.
defend with siege.
So you're saying
Sorry, go
Kirtash?
ahead.
Oh yeah, no. You were talking first. I wasn't muted the way that I thought I was. So Kirtash, you're right. He's making monks, and he is going for the relics. He's collecting the relics, and Lordek has damaged this house. But, you know, it kind of loses the element of surprise here. Kiritastrich immediately started building the siege workshop when these archers attacked his house. And he's making a mangonel. So now the element of surprise is over. I think Lordek has noticed that one of the relics has disappeared, and probably assuming that Kiritastrich is getting relics now. He has one in. He's about to have another one. And I guess Lordek is just guarding this relic right now. And there's another relic
Also,
up
he's
here. Does Lordek know about that? He does not. So he's going to be trying extra hard to make sure this relic doesn't disappear.
and he's up to Imperial Age. Like Kirat is already up to Imperial Age with Viking economy.
Oh boy, that's not good at all. Viking economy, Imperial Age, Kirtastrich going into archery ranges, and Lordek not really punishing Kirtastrich's fast castle. Although they are tied in villagers, and Makdek has a larger military. But Makdek, I don't know if Makdek is planning on going Imperial Age at all at any time soon. I guess he sort of is accumulating the resources. Destroys this outpost here. And he's thinking about coming in this way, so Kiritastrich is sending some villagers to plug the hole. But Lordek playing very passively. You know, there's no forward siege workshop. There's like with a couple of knights or anything. There's no monks. He just made these archers because he got beat up by Kiritastrich last game, and decides not to engage that. Just walks away with a little bit of damage. Nobody was killed.
Hopefully, he'll be able to grab a relic. He is up to Imperial as well,
Oh, yeah,
and
okay, good
he
point.
still has army.
Makdek going for the relic, and he did just click up to Imp, so he's not too far behind. He does not know what Kiritastrich is doing. He has no scouting information on what Kiritastrich is up to. Kiritastrich, we know, because we can see everything, he's making archery ranges. But Kiritastrich has shown the castle to Makdek. So Makdek may be assuming that Kiritastrich is going infantry, when in reality Kiritastrich is also going archers. Let's see if we can get a clue about what Makdek thinks Kiritastrich is doing. Not really, because Makdek is just making more and more archers. What would be... Well, if Makdek believed that Kiritastrich was going berserks, what would he be doing differently?
If he's believing in like berserks, he should be going archers. But if he thinks that Kirat is also going archers, he should be adding in scums because he is faster to imp, and he will have a bracer advantage and imp unique tech of Vikings as well.
So it's a decent fight for... That's a good point. Decent fight for Lordek here. Lordek trying to get some free damage on this Mangonel. But he can't really fight for very well because, as you can see, Bracer in for Kiritastrich and Imperial Age technology. So Makdek really cannot afford to engage right now. He's got to get up to the Imperial Age and get his upgrades. Arbalister has arrived for Kiritastrich, but Imperial Age has arrived for Makdek. So now Makdek can get Crossbowman, he can get Chemistry. He'll need to queue up Bracer. He's got that. He's getting the armor. Makdek built a second... Did Makdek build a second blacksmith? I guess maybe
That's
not.
only one actually.
Makdek retreating inside of his base. Did he just delete what his archery range? I guess he did, just so that he could have room to micro the archers. And so both players are just kind of building up right now. They're gonna... Makdek came out, he took a little bit of map control. Kiritastrich picked up some relics anyway while Makdek wasn't looking, but Makdek at least got one relic to deny a relic victory. And, oh no, Makdek. All right, he gets
He just
shot at by the castle a little
yes.
bit. Trebuchet rolling forward for Kiritastrich. It's going to start working on Macdek's castle.
He has double armor, both have double armor, but he has to notice like Vikings get one more unique tech, like one attack plus one attack for their herbalist, which he already has. And he will lag behind in that case because he will never get a unique tech to have a plus one attack on their archers right now.
So 6+5 for the Arbalesters and 6+4 for the Chinese. So the Vikings have that additional attack from their unique technology. I think whoever mixes in siege rams first wins. What do you think?
Yeah, but also Onager is a good option which Kirat is also already taking into, and within 14 seconds he will have Onager, and that should be able to counter these archers.
Yeah, that'll be pretty devastating for Macdek. I don't know if Macdek is developing any kind of counterplay. Surely he should expect Kiritastrich to um, go into something here, and Kiritastrich has gone into Onager, and now we're going to get the big archer fight here, which Kiritastrich is going to come out on top of because he's got an Onager here helping. Although Macdek has decent numbers, 22 versus 28. No, Macdek is gonna clean this up with a little bit of micro, and the castle's going to go down too. Macdek with 4 trebuchets here. Macdek with a decisive battlefield win. All right, he clears Kiritastrich out. That's not good for Kiritastrich, but it's good for Macdek. And he's rolling forward. Luckily for Kiritastrich, there is another castle here. But what do you do if you're Kiritastrich? I guess you just try to make some more onagers, right? You can't roll onagers forward against Arbalesters one at a time. You need like 2 or 3. At least 2. 3 is comfortable, and 4 is really great.
Yeah, important to notice he didn't have a siege engineer before, so he was one short range. That's why he wasn't able to take a good fight against those Arbalest. Now he has siege engineer, but he needs to have a 2-3
Ooh,
on edges to take a fight. That was
that
a good shot, but
yeah, that was a fantastic attack ground there. Lordek should mix in a few monks to heal his archers. It's totally worth it at this point in the game. Gold is, 100 gold is a lot in early Castle Age, but in Imperial Age like this, each of these are 45. So if it saves the life of 3 archers, it's totally worth it. And Kiritastrich, I think he really needs to save it up. I don't think there's much gain from trying to roll these onagers in one at a time. He's building more houses. Macdek looks to be really controlling the game right now. He's mixing in Chokunus, which I think is a mistake. Chokunus are really designed against high pierce armor units. They could maybe be effective against skirmishers, but they have less range than traditional arbalesters. These are elite Chokunus too, so he already invested in the upgrades and such. They have 10 attack, so they have more attack, and they have more arrows. But as you can see, they have 1 fewer range. But still, Lordek is probably feels like he's in a pretty good position here. He's just destroyed 2 of Kiritastrich's castles, and he's out-microed Kiritastrich's onager initiative. So, could Macdek have closed out this game?
yeah, I think he's in a very good spot and he has all the military and everything in his control, and there's nothing for Kirat to come back to this game. Even if he goes somewhere else to boom and build an army, he will be a lot behind. Like he is 60 army behind. So everything is in favor of Macdek right now. He should be able to close this game easily.
Macdek is building a castle here on some of these extra resources, and I guess he's going to take this gold. Kiritastrich building a castle here too, which will slow Macdek down for collecting these resources. Actually, does Macdek even know about that? Yeah, he knows about this castle now, so, or at least it's in his vision. He'll notice it when it attacks him.
That was a good reaction. He just lost 2 bills. I think Trebs two of his troops will roll back and deal with this castle, and that should be game over for Virat.
Kirtastrich, he's building three more siege workshops. He really needs to pump out these onagers. Macdeck pressuring the town centers now. We got 2 siege onagers rolling forward. Ooh, that was a huge hit from Kirtastrich right there. Flattened a bunch of Chokunus. Now, what do Macdeck's resources look like? He's got thousands of each resource in the bank. He could be tech shift, and he's Chinese. He could be going into Cavaliers or something right now. Look at the Trebuchet going after the onagers. And Macdeck going to evacuate. Is Macdeck finally going to make something that deals with these onagers? It looks like he's building a bunch of siege workshops.
He is getting melee attacks, so I think he will most likely go into some cavalry or fire lancers. He can go as well. He already got a unique tech for him, which provide extra scorpions, rocket cars, 25% attack.
So Kirtastrich has attempted to build some stables on the side for raiding, but Macdeck is wise to it and sent some army here. And these villagers are all going to be killed. And anything produced from these stables will get shredded pretty quickly. Vikings are not known for having very resilient cavalry in the late game. So it was a nice try from Kirtastrich to distract, but Macdeck is not going to be too bothered by this. Macdeck with more onagers rolling forward. You know, we've got ourselves in a situation here where neither of these civilizations get bombard cannon, and neither of these civilizations get redemption monks. So they're kind of in an awkward position, I would say. You know, clearing out enemy onagers. They can both make onagers and produce mass casualties, and nobody really has a hard counter to onagers between these two civs. What do you think, ThNagraj? You think it's going to be a long, bloody stalemate with onagers flattening other onagers and archers?
Actually, both the saves don't get onager. One gets rocket cart, another gets onager. So,
well,
in
okay,
Chinese,
all right. You know what I mean, though, right? They're both onager. They're both onager type units, but yeah, you're correct. These little things you guys see rolling around on the screen, for those of you who are not too familiar with Age of Empires, are heavy rocket carts, and they were added at a recent patch, and they are kind of the Chinese equivalent. They're actually a regional unit equivalent. So the Vietnamese and the Koreans get these heavy rocket carts as well, and I think the Japanese get them too. Maybe they don't, though. I'm not sure.
Japanese get mangonel line,
Okay.
but Chinese DLC saves get these like Jurchens and Khitans, if I remember correctly.
Now, I really like the Chinese because they're a very flexible civilization, ThNagraj. Look at all of these stables coming down. So he's going to mix in Chinese light cav, probably. He's getting bloodlines. He's getting the second armor. Oh, no, it's going to be cavaliers. He's got the gold. He's like, might as well go cavaliers. And Kirtastrich's current army composition really struggles with cavaliers. Guys, remember that Vikings don't get halberdiers. They get pikemen at the maximum, which makes them better at killing other infantry, but not so good at killing... I mean, they're still alright if you have enough of them, but if you're surprised, which Kirtastrich will probably be surprised, because he has not seen the stables, then, you know, you really need a lot of pikemen to deal with cavaliers, and Kirtastrich is trying to get an attack ground to get some damage on these guys, but probably all of these onagers are going to die.
Yeah, and he doesn't have any castle to produce berserks which will counter this cavalry.
The Vikings have a unique technology called chieftains, which gives all of their infantry bonus attack. Oh, this ram, though. I love this ram. I love that Kirtastrich has gone rams. It might be too late. He may have needed those rams a long time ago. Big juicy hit from that onager, though. And I think Kirtastrich is in trouble. And he calls the GG. So Lordek managing to tie it up. Um, with the cavalry switch is really what won him the game. What are your thoughts, ThNagraj?
Yeah, Chinese is a very good save in high level elo, and I think he played really well with that. And with being tax very cheap, he was able to close out the game into just switching into cavalry. This was a good aggression, controlled aggression from Lordek, as I would say, and he pushed systematically one step at a time. He switched into the units that should be able to counter the Krat's strat, and he did it very well.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it should be rewarded if somebody does a technology switch that their opponent isn't prepared for. That should be the kind of thing that wins games. So it's pleasing to see that that's what happened here, especially because Lordek was on the back foot for the earlier portion of the game. He basically went archers in the feudal age, but he didn't really get any value from them. So that put Kirtash to imp first, and Lordek was in trouble, but he managed to rally. All right, so let's go into the statistics. So Kirtash actually roughly even killed to death ratio. But MacDeck destroyed 35 buildings. Kirtash destroyed none. So MacDeck with superior food and wood collected, and gold. Kirtash collected more stone. So Kirtash had better castle and imperial age times, but MacDeck had better feudal age time. MacDeck explored more of the map and had researched more technologies. MacDeck with 1800 relic gold. Sorry, Kirtash with 1800 relic gold. MacDeck with 4 castles and 1 relic captured. 131 villagers. So, pretty good games, I think. I think the first game, MacDeck really struggled against that man-at-arms rush, but he played cautiously. He went feudal age, military this time. He didn't repeat the same mistake. And Kirtash thought that his opponent would be a little paranoid, so he went fast castle, thinking, "Oh, my opponent's going to overinvest in feudal," and it did slow MacDeck down. But MacDeck was able to rally and pull off a second game here, or pull off a win in the second game. Of course, he pulls off a second game. They're required to play 2 games unless they're unsporting and refuse to play a second game, which in that case it's an admin loss. All right, but that's not what happened here. So you ready to cast the second set, ThNagraj? Or do you want to take a quick, 2-minute break?
No, we can go ahead.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
So I'm going to change the overlay real quick. The screen share. And let me bring up the draft for Ice-T versus J-Skills. So 5 random bans at the start. They each globally ban 2 civilizations. And then, pick 3, take turns picking 3, snipe 1, and then pick 3 more. And the result of that has left Ice-T with Koreans, Bengalis, Georgians, Portuguese, and Lithuanians. J-Skills gets Dravidians, Vietnamese, Japanese, Khmers, and Cumans. J-Skills sniping Persians from Ice-T, which is very smart. And Ice-T sniping Malay from J-Skills, which is also very smart. So comments on this draft before we get into their games.
So J skills is going for archers focused civilizations mostly and infantry. Like Japanese Dravidians are both infantry, Vietnamese can go in infantry as well. And like these are very good with the archer civilization. And Ice-T is going for the cavalry civ mostly, like Georgians, Bengalis, Lithuanians, these are cavalry focused civ. So it will be interesting to see what they try to go. And I just want to say, like, Vietnamese is a very good save on Hyperrandom. If you know the opponent where the opponent is, you can have aggression based upon the distance of the opponent from your base.
Yeah, Vietnamese is a great sip on Hyperrandom because you never know what's going to happen. So there's a good chance that we'll see them. I think J Skills was very wise to snipe Persians. Persians are very powerful. on Hyperrandom. They're somewhat flexible brute force type civ. All right, so
But Persians is good in hybrid as well as open land, etc. maps.
let's check out the games. Change the overlay back to the game screen share. All right, and I'm loading up game 1. I tried to get Capture Age working, but I'm on Linux, unfortunately, so I was not able to make it happen. All right, so I'm on 2 seconds, and I am ready whenever you are.
It's Vietnamese versus Koreans.
Yep.
Yeah, we can start.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, everybody. So we got Vietnamese versus Koreans on Hyperrandom by Zetnus. We got Ice-T. He's playing as the blue Koreans, and we have J-Skills playing as the yellow Vietnamese. So what ThNagraj was talking about earlier, J-Skills knows exactly where his opponent is. So that's kind of nice. Can send the horse out to scout. He's scouting with a couple of cows. I think we're kind of looking at Arabia. Well, actually, no, we're not quite looking at Arabia, are we? They have this choke point in the center, which is probably too wide to be walled, but it would be kind of interesting to see them wall it. But I think that this map is going to play out like Arabia if they don't wall that choke point, which is quite probable that they won't wall it. It's just too wide. What do you think? Would you wall this?
Yeah, this map is a hybrid son of Amazon Tunnel and Arabia. So let's see if they wall. Also, the opening is like has a hill, so whoever castle drops here should be able to control this opening and put on aggression. Let's
Now,
see how they try to play it out.
now I want to point something out too before I forget. Well, number one, they have a shrine here. That's not really what I wanted to point out necessarily, but I don't know what it does. I don't think it does anything, but it's pretty, and so we're going to enjoy it. But what I really wanted to point out was that because of the large skill difference between these players, our matchmaker assigned J-Skills 5% handicap. So if we click on J-Skills Villagers, we can see that they have an extra hit point, because it's just a little bit of handicap working in his advantage. So Ice-T only has 25 HP. Both of these players are unloomed, but J-Skills has 26. So J-Skills with just a very slight advantage here. Is the handicap too strong? Well, I think we said, what, J-Skills is upper 1700s. So, upper 1700s versus 2K1, that's a tough matchup, but maybe with a little bit of handicap that evens it out a bit. So we'll see. We'll just have to see. I don't know what's going to happen here, but they have a harmless scout, which is an interesting choice. Koreans versus Vietnamese. Is this just an archer micro war? What is this? What would you do on this map, ThNagraj, and why?
Yeah, so Vietnam, being Vietnamese, if I play Vietnamese, I will go archers, but I will have to go scouts as well because Koreans already get armor each age free. So with easy cheap scums, they will be able to counter those archers. So I will have to go into both archers and scouts to put on aggression. And with Koreans, it's all about tower drops, being cheap, having cheap wood units. So fire lancers are also viable option. It should be good to see tower drops kind of.
And I think that Ice-T is going lightning archers here. He does not want to give J-Skills the chance to maybe wall off this choke point and boom up with the 5% handicap, because he's only got 2 on wood. He's only sending his third to wood right now. 6.5 minutes into the game. He's got everything else is on food. And he's almost got enough food to click up, actually. So this is a 19 pop. Yeah, this is a 19 pop feudal age from Ice-T. And Now we'll probably see Ice-T send a bunch of villagers over to wood, a bunch of villagers over to gold, and he'll may open with one range and a blacksmith perhaps, and he'll come in here and he'll try to get on the wood line and micro down. It's ugly what Ice-T is capable of. He's definitely proven himself to be a very formidable League player, especially if you're J skills, right? If you're ordinarily upper 1700s, then you're probably a little bit nervous. Now J skills does have some handicap helping him out, and it looks like J skills is planning some Dark Age aggression against Ice-T. Actually, he's on his way up to the Feudal Age too, but he's going up also on 19 villagers, 21 pop total. And they're going to have very similar times, and it's going to be a clash of man-at-arms and maybe towers. We got some villagers coming forward. Uh-oh, there's one man-at-arms that isn't coming. Come on. Get with it, man. Alright, there's a black bear here. They're not very realistic. Black bears are afraid of people. But this black bear wants some action. And J Skills is Vietnamese. He knows about this gold. He knows about the chickens, so I guess he's going to try and deny resources here. He can't be too happy that... Yeah, okay, he's sending the man-at-arms now. He's sending 2 more man-at-arms. Or militia, I should say. The man-at-arms technology is researching.
So, I guess he, like, Ice-T saw these militia, and that's why he got the loom, because he didn't have a loom before, and now he's trying to defend with villagers only. And forward archery range, I don't know. Yeah, he has already archery range, so he should be able to counter those with archers and stuns.
So, J Skills has not gotten loom yet. That's how aggressive he's being. Ice-T actually quick walling these houses here. I think this tower is very ambitious. I think a tower on the wood line would be okay. Oh no, J Skills has gotten loom too. Ice-T sending the town. And J Skills has to turn back. Luckily for J Skills, he does have some man-at-arms here that can help out. And he's blocking the villagers with a horse. One man-at-arms goes down. Look at it. Ice-T has like sent the whole town here. This is like 10 villagers. So J Skills doing a good job with the aggression here. You know, it doesn't look like he's playing too timidly, which I really respect. I think Ice-T would respect that too. A lot of players, you know, they'd be like, "Oh crap, you know, my opponent's 2k1. Even though I have handicap, I'm gonna wall up and try to survive." But J Skills is gonna be aggressive, and I like that. Ice-T doing a good job with the villager boxing. He looks like he's only lost one lady, and he's one villager behind J Skills now. J Skills lost all of his man-at-arms except this one.
He has a lot of man-at-arms still coming. He is producing more man-at-arms. He is coming with them, and But important to notice that Ice-T has a tower on hill, so he should be able to damage more with 25% bonus, and he should be able to get rid of this forward tower from J Skills.
Yeah, I agree.
Also,
This tower was do or die for Ice-T, right? That's why he sent 10 villagers to fight this, is because he could not afford to let J Skills he could not afford for this tower to be a yellow tower instead. Because that's where his gold is, that's where his stone is, that's where 3 of his 4 wood lines are. It would have been a disaster. So Ice-T committed heavily here. Having said that, J Skills I think has done some damage. Their scores are neck and neck. J Skills gonna come over here and take Ice-T's stone. He's got man-at-arms and he's got a couple of skirmishers here. And Ice-T's starting to roll some archers off of the assembly line. I don't really know that he has as many as he wants. Let's see. Yeah, he can't really. I guess he could afford one more archer or 2.
he's not producing any archers though. He's as soon as I say.
Yeah, no, J Skills J Skills has no defense at home. You know, he hasn't even small walled any of his villagers. His motto is the best defense is a good offense here. He's gonna keep Ice-T at home by playing aggressively. And it's working so far.
Yeah, I agree with him. So he is already 400 resources ahead of Ice-T. Also, he has map control and army control as well. So Ice-T is just defending with everything right now. But Ice-T has fletching and first armor on which he gets for free, being Koreans. And J Skills does not have anything. He's doing fletching now for his archers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, J Skills needs to take a step back. He had numbers and he's starting to lose the numbers. Ice-T is catching up in numbers, so now J Skills has to invest in some technology here. And he's gotten fletching. The good news for J Skills is he doesn't really need the armor so much because his man-at-arms are in front, tanking the arrow fire. And he can't really go in there. And, you know, Ice-T has kind of walled himself off a little pocket. He's walled down here to the edge of the map, and he's got a tower keeping an eye on the rest of his resources. So J Skills, I don't really know what he does next. Maybe J Skills tries to go up to Castle Age, but he's nowhere near the resources, really. So I guess he's just caught in this endless... Okay, well, he's going to build a tower to advance his interests. You know, that tower will be annoying. It'll shut down 1.5 farms. And it'll secure the stone. And it'll make his fights here a lot more effective. But Ice-T outnumbers him now. Okay, the tower goes up. And that should be pretty deciding for this area.
But it does not control anything except from those 2 farms and that stone that J Skills is already taking. But Ice-T already has a stone behind his tower, which he built first. So I think still he is in a better spot. He can go to Castle Age and get rid of these towers easily.
Now, I don't know how close Ice-T is to the Castle Age. It looks like he's starting to get close. He's
He is close. He is just 200 resources behind to
J
pick up.
Skills.
I think with yeah,
Trying to
J
come in
Skills
this
is
way.
not behind.
What does J Skills need to do? Does he just need to recognize that Ice-T has taken his feet off of the gas? Yeah, J Skills is nowhere close. I'm wondering if J Skills is going to build like a second tower here next to the archery range and try to push in through this palisade. I'm surprised that he hasn't destroyed this palisade and tried to get in this way. It's only 32 hit points. But he's
Yeah,
maintained a
so
good military presence.
he is focusing on military. He is producing non-stop, but he needs to understand like his opponent has already clicked, and his opponent will have a better military upon reaching Castle Edge. He needs to just unqueue his units and go up to Castle Age himself
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Yeah, he doesn't know that Ice-T is up. I was thinking Ice-T was going to loop around with these units and try to get in on J Skills' base. J Skills has not refreshed his lumber camp yet. He's been so aggressive, which I love. This is also an opportunity for J Skills maybe to stonewall off this ridge. And he might think of that when he sees Ice-T as Castle Age. Alright, he's building another tower here. This tower shuts down this wood line. Ice-T is still taking wood elsewhere. So the tower is not terribly damaging. It might be damaging if Ice-T were already over here. And J Skills coming to intercept Ice-T's men. Figured he hadn't seen him in a while. And Ice-T the
I
Castle
think
Age.
I think he got a glimpse of Ice-T's army upon just walking past his archery range, initial archery range.
Giving him some vision. And so now J Skills, what's he going to do? Try and force a fight here? Or is he going to run away? If he runs away, that's not a good option because then Ice-T goes to his base. I think he has to fight. Try to fight
Yeah,
before
but
the upgrades get in.
he is fighting downhill, which is not good for him.
Mm-hmm. That and the Koreans get that armor for free. And Ice-T is going to go to J Skills' base now, and J Skills is in some trouble. So he didn't wall or anything.
Yeah, he has not refreshed his lumber camp. You are expecting him to wall.
He built a new one back here.
Yeah,
So
just now.
now the good news for J Skills is that Ice-T does not know where he is. He didn't scout him before. So Ice-T's just going to find this base now. That's actually kind of lucky, because I guess Ice-T did come and look around here for a while earlier on. But he just kind of guessed that this is where J Skills is. So J Skills going to garrison. But Ice-T hasn't like scouted any wood lines. He hasn't scouted out any gold mines. So this is Ice-T's first time. Is Ice-T going to find this lumber camp? He is. Which is very unfortunate for J Skills. If Ice-T had just been a little bit closer to the town center, he could have, but he's going to move in here and probably get 3 or 4 villager kills. Revenge. So this is kind of punishing J Skills' mistake. He actually manages to get away with only 3 deaths. So I guess that's not too bad. So J Skills is a bunch of...
See the number of villagers on gold. He has 19 on gold and 0 on wood.
and no market either. Let's take a look at J Skills' resources. He needs to get back on the wood here. He's been spending resources on units and upgrades. And I think that this game could be pretty close to over. Ice-T is just microing this. Just something that he always does. And he's taking a much better fight because of it. His only advantage is the big advantage is the armor here. J Skills bringing the skirmishers forward, fighting this off, sending his troops or his town back to chop this wood.
And he has 2 hero Malay elephants, battle elephants to just counter this army.
Oh!
Let's see.
Now these are Vietnamese battle elephants. I don't even know where these came from. Alright, I guess he's got a stable forward. And the elephants are coming back. Another villager goes down. And the elephants are going to finally get Ice-T to run away. So what's Ice-T doing? I guess he's going to send some more archers and skirms past this tower. Ice-T is on 2 town centers. He added another town center on this hill.
Ice-T has enough stone to do a castle drop as well right now.
Is he going to do a castle drop, or is he going to do a bunch of towers on his opponent? Ice-T definitely on the counter-offensive. Sending more foot archers in. Oh man, so annoying.
If he makes the castle where J Skills archery range stable is there, everything should be under his control. Like all the aggression should be shut down then.
So you think Ice-T should build his castle like right here on this hill and just shut down J Skills' archery range and stable and blacksmith? I guess he can't really shut down the blacksmith, but he could eventually destroy it. J Skills has towered his gold here, which is a good decision. And his army is chasing Ice-T across the map. And Ice-T using that to buy himself time to have peace at home. So Ice-T...
Yeah, but there is like already 23 villager difference in both economy.
Yep. So Ice-T is on 2 town centers and J Skills only on 1 town center. And J Skills has to follow Ice-T around on his side of the map instead of Ice-T being on the defensive. Market will go up, but Ice-T picked off a villager. So Ice-T adding another... He's adding another town center. What's that? Oh yeah, he's built the castle. Look at that, ThNagraj. What do you think of this castle position?
This counters both the tower, but I would have preferred it on the hill near the stone because he has already army as well as Ram, so he could have built a better position. But I think based on the position, he built it just downhill.
Yeah, he shanked down the tower, which was an interesting choice.
Okay, There is second castle from him, and this is the castle which I was talking about, exactly in the same position.
Yep. Now, J Skills is building a second town center, but it's on this wood line, which is interesting. And there's a monastery next to it. So I'm wondering if he was planning on getting a relic or two. And there is a relic here, and there's a relic here. So maybe he was planning on taking Ice-T's relics and then building a victory condition off of that. Alchemy League is, of course, standard victory condition, as many of you guys know.
Okay, 4 relics on this map, and both have 2 to each side. So gathering relic should be not a priority, I guess. But I guess he is a lot behind in eco, so he can try to go for victory conditions in this case.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So he's got a monk here healing his people. No attempt at the relics yet. But J Skills, unfortunately, with only 5 farms, 3 town centers. So he's going to need to be buying food to keep those town centers active. He's getting ballistics, probably because he's tired of continuously missing Ice-T's moving units, which I don't think anybody can blame him for. And he's adding another siege workshop, probably because he's seen this castle. Well, obviously he's seen the castle. It was built on top of his units. What's Ice-T's plan? Ice-T building... What is this? Oh, a rocket cart. I guess it makes sense, right? A rocket cart's really good against a small mass of bunched up units. So Ice-T, all he has to do is kind of play normally, if you will. Just push a town center.
He is not ahead. I think his next aim is to go up to imp and just keep pushing with siege from there on.
Yeah, Ice-T doesn't look like he's trying to get up to imp, though. J-Skills not trying either. At least nowhere, not really having the resources. Alright, here comes a mangonel. He's going to play the mangonel dance with the rocket carts. No, he's going back. Neither of these civilizations has, if I remember correctly, access to redemption. Yeah, so nobody's going to be converting rocket carts or mangonels. However, Vietnamese and Koreans both get bombard cannons. Ice-T using these rocket carts now. J-Skill's doing his best to micro, but it's not easy to get a good fight when you've got these rocket carts shooting at you.
Yeah, but Ice-T is already up to him now, so this should be imp into GG for J Skills, I guess. And he is losing all his military as well.
Yeah, that was brutal. These rocket carts really cleared out his military. I think it's over for J Skills now at this point. He was in a tough spot because Ice-T has twice his economy, but now Ice-T has twice his military too. Although he did manage to take out the rocket cart in the end. But I think J Skills did pretty honorably this game. You know, this is it was decisions that put Ice-T over the top here. I think Ice-T did a better job of walling, keeping his base secure, and J Skills maybe could have been more proactive in that endeavor. But J Skills had a very respectable tower, man-at-arms, and skirmisher push on Ice-T earlier. But I think now Ice-T's in this position where he's just weathered the storm, he's survived, and now he's going up to Imp, he's rolling in with the siege, and probably J Skills will resign when he sees Imperial Age come in. Maybe not, because J Skills is saving up resources for Imperial himself. He's probably going to sell some wood off and then click.
Ice-T is tower hopping step by step.
Mm-hmm.
So
Korean
he's
towers.
controlling a lot of yeah.
And he'll get keeps for free.
Yeah, but he also should get his silver unique tech that gives tower 3 extra range,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what is it?
2
Gypsum.
extra range.
Although it
Yeah,
doesn't look like he's
Gypsum.
gotten it yet. J Skills has clicked up. He's still fighting. Hopefully he's having a good time. I think this match has been a pretty good challenge for J Skills to be up against Ice T and in this sort of a setting. And Keeps have gotten Bracer along with the crossbowman, and J Skills having to abandon this position in the center. Look how J Skills is converting the crossbowman. Why not, right?
Yeah, and he's following the army.
Ice T just gonna fight this. He does manage to get the mangonel, and now he's got Arbalister in. He's got the hill. He's got the armor. And these skirmishers actually retreat, and J Skills calls the GG before reaching Imp. So GG, well played. J Skills going very aggressive here, but maybe not quite taking advantage of the initial map control to wall things off. So what do you think, ThNagraj? We're going to go into the statistics.
So based on the civilizations, J skills was aggressive, which he was supposed to be, and I think there was a mindset like he has to be aggressive to win a map or have even a opportunity to win the map. That's why he went full aggression, but Ice-T had better control of units and he was able to figure out his victory condition, which was like just have the tower defense and have a little bit of army to defend, and he reached Castle Edge much ahead of JSK's. That's where he got the edge. He boomed behind that and had a very good micro as well.
So we've got 105 kills for Ice-T, and we have 62 units lost for Ice-T, so it's basically almost a 2-to-1 kill-to-death ratio, even though they had similar army choices, which should tell you a lot about the difference in kind of like Ice-T's micro, and I guess small decisions about where to go and what to do. In terms of buildings, Ice-T destroyed 16 and lost none. J Skills had the larger army, so Ice-T managed to get this 2-to-1 kill-to-death ratio with a smaller military. Ice-T with more of every resource collected, and better advancement times across the board. He built 2 castles, captured 1 relic, or ended the game with a relic, and a villager high of 116. So we'll go back to the replays, and we will cast game 2. All right, ThNagraj, I'm on 0 seconds, and I'm ready whenever you are.
We can start.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. So we got Bengalis versus the Khmer. So this is a battle for Southeast Asia. What do you think, ThNagraj?
I think like both are good save, both are very good to adapt into each units as well. Bengalis extra wills getting upon reaching each age 2 extra wills is a very good bonus, but Khmer don't need any prior buildings to click up or build any other buildings. So both can be very good based upon where they are fighting. And since this is a nomad kind of map, but it starts with a TC, both have water as well. It should be pretty much in favor of Bengalis if I can think of.
Yeah, hybrid map this time. So the players are probably going to be docking and making fishing ships, and I mean, Kirtastrich technically made some fishing ships in his second game against Lordek, but you know, nobody really made any a water military. And in this game, we're probably going to see some water military finally. Oh no. Shanbei Raider. He's a ranged unit with 5 attack. And you start with this Lembos too. And J Skills and Ice-T are ramming each other. And it looks like Ice-T has the advantage, so J Skills is going to pull back and repair his Lembos. Or no, this is not a Lembos, it's a Biream. So the attack is 10 plus 12. And there's 11 health left. So I think it's just going to be one more hit. And then this Biream will be destroyed. Nope, 2 more hits. So Ice-T managing to micro down J Skills' Biream. J Skills has gotten Loom already. And as we can tell, because his villagers have 41 HP, so we also know that he correctly applied the handicap. You can dock on this map, and there are fish that are worth fighting for, but it's a pretty narrow channel here. So you could, with towers or ranged units or castles, deny a lot of this shoreline to ships, but that may not be cost effective early on. So this Shanbei Raider, do you know what this is? Is this like one of those new Chinese Civ units, or is this some kind of hero unit? What's this?
Yeah, it's a unique unit for the way, and it produces, like, it has a charged attack as well. So, but it is very low HP, as you can see, and it's easily countered by scums and siege. But the only thing is, after first attack, it has a very lesser attack bonus. First is a charged attack, which gives him very much edge, but after that, it's like a very low base attack cav archer.
So J Skills, I don't know what J Skills is doing. I guess he's trying to get in here and be annoying and maybe put this Shanbei Raider on Ice-T's woodline. But the wolves are bothering him. So he could potentially get if he could get the wolves off of his back, he could actually wolf rush these villagers. But Ice-T coming back to deal with this, so he's not able to lose the aggro of the wolves. So I don't know that this is going to pay off. But at least he's got a lot of turkeys. What's that?
Yeah, these wolves have a long sight, because he is not getting rid of them anyhow, even though he was so much ahead.
Yeah, the wolves are helping Ice-T here. That can't make... Oh, but at least there's going to be a wolf rush. I love seeing the wolf rushes. It's too bad we don't see them very often. I like how Ice-T immediately charged the wolves after he saw that Shanbei Raider die. He's like, oh no. And he just ran in there with 4 villagers and fought the wolves. Alright, so Ice-T managing to keep his Shanbei Raider alive with 3 HP. So he will die to a single shank from a villager. So the villager does 3 attack, and the Shanbei Raider has 0 melee armor. So, but it could be really annoying for J Skills, and we know how annoying Ice-T's micro is to deal with. So he'll probably find a way to make this Raider super annoying, which J Skills is expecting.
Also, he's up to Feudal Age, very fast 19 will Feudal Age, and both people do not know. Although while I'm saying Ice-T will find out that J Skills has already docked, and he will ram the dock with his pyramid.
Yeah. Now the good news for J Skills is that he was able to kill Ice-T's Shanbei Raider. Ice-T accidentally ran into J Skills' town center. Now Ice-T finding the dock, like you explained. Oh, wait a second. This Biream is back to full health. Did Ice-T repair this, or does this heal passively?
So I think it healed passively on its own.
Because it spent most of its time on the opposite side of the map from Ice-T's base, so he would have had to send a villager across the map to repair it. And this is going to be super annoying. Like, look at this. It's going to kill this fishing ship. Now, it's within the minimum range of the dock, but at least the fishing ship is safe. And I guess it's just going to ram the dock. Or maybe J Skills will have to make one of those Hulk things as soon as he reaches feudal age to deal with it. Oh no, J Skills, no. Alright. Both of his fishing ships are alive. And yeah, this Byream's just being annoying, just ramming the dock. So does J Skills intend to... I think J Skills might be going fast castle here. We'll see. Perhaps not. He's really lacking in the food department. Maybe it's actually just going to be scouts without the prerequisite buildings, although he's got a lot of villagers on gold. Let's see what J Skills' resources look like, actually. He's making hulks. Making hulks to deal with this troublesome vehicle. Vessel, I should say, not vehicle.
I don't know if that counters it because I think it's like doing a melee damage like Hulks and it has a higher attack, so that should not be able to counter. Fire should be the viable counter, I think, for Byream.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It seems to be healing very quickly. And it has 3/4 armor. Maybe fires are the ship to make against it. But I've heard that Hulks are just so powerful now that everybody's making them. So J Skills has been repairing this Hulk. He's trying to get the Hulk closer so that he can repair and attack the Byream at the same time. There we go. And so now Ice-T attacks the repair villager. And imagine, like, standing on the beach and getting rammed by a ship. Do you think that would be hurtful?
Yeah, it would be extremely helpful, and I wonder how she survived.
Yeah, this lady actually survived, if you can believe that. Alright, J Skills is finally managing to chase off this Byream. But boy, was that Byream annoying to deal with. And now he can eject his fishing ships. And he can actually take some fish with those fishing ships again. Which Ice-T has been doing the whole time. Oh, actually, J Skills, what am I talking about? He's got 3 docks up here. Okay. Well, that's kind of greedy. So Ice-T just finding out about this at the same time that we find out about it. J Skills should send his fishing ship back to try to block this Byream so that he can finish it off. But Ice-T going to learn about all 3 of these docks. Knows that his opponent is greedily fish booming. So what does Ice-T do now? He even preemptively towered his gold, too, because he probably thought... Again, these guys, like, mind game each other. Like, Kiritastrich went fast castle in his second game. And here's Ice-T thinking, oh, you know, my opponent's going to play super aggressively. I better tower my gold just in case. Only to instead find out that his opponent is actually greedily fish booming. So these guys like to do different things to keep each other on edge. Ice-T 25% up to castle, though. What's it going to be? What do you think he's going to do, ThNagraj? Archers?
Yeah, I think he'll go crossbow because he already made some archers and he has fetching already. He towered up his gold. So that should be a viable option, I think.
Agreed. He's making some palisades now. He's doing a better job of walling off his base. He's got it kind of walled up here. He's got a dock and a house up here for some vision. And now he's walling off the front. And he's probably going to go crossbows. And the Khmers have made a scout, like a real scout, and some skirmishers. So I guess J Skills is going to be aggressive. Where did that scout even come from? I don't know where that scout came from. I can't find his stable. It's a black... Oh, there it is. Alright. Just blind, that's all. So an archery range, a stable. And he's got a little bit of a makeshift army here. His opponent is not yet Castle Age, but he just reached Castle Age. So I don't know how aggressive J Skills is going to be now that his opponent is Castle Age. He'll either be super aggressive or not aggressive at all. And Ice-T out of position with these archers. What's he doing with the archers? J Skills coming back. Spearman taking some free lances from the skirmishers. Ice-T funneling J Skills in toward the tower.
I think like yeah, he already has Botkin and crossbow, so he's going forward to attack, and he should find some easy kills on wills of J skills. But J
Yep.
skills notices that on time.
He's going to get a couple villager pickoffs here. J Skills has to evacuate this wood line because he just knows Ice-T is going to come around this way and find his villagers. He's going to have to send the skirmishers back to deal with it. Chicken rotting underneath the town center. Now, J Skills has made some navy, and he's making strides. He's pushed Ice-T off of this dock, and I guess he's working on Ice-T's other dock here. He's at least forced the fishing ships to garrison. Chasing this Hulk away. And now the fire ship goes down and the fishing ships can go back to what they were doing.
But
So
the
these,
crossbows are still there, and skirmishers are not at that position.
so we got a
And he's
couple of
making
elephants.
elephants. Yeah.
Um,
He likes to go elephants, I
he
guess.
he does. I don't know why. I think knights would be fine here. They'd be faster. They'd be better at chasing down Ice-T's annoyingly microed units. But I guess the elephants are tankier, and J Skills is comfortable with the elephants. So, could there be
Maybe
could the elephants be related to the handicap somehow? Like, takes less bonus damage, so therefore he likes making elephants more, which ordinarily would take more bonus damage.
I have no idea, but I guess he likes to go elephants, and that's why Malay snipe was a very good option for Ice-T. If he was Malay, I guess he would have cheaper Malay elephants, and that should be very annoying to play against.
So are they just passing here? Ice-T coming over to J Skills' base, and J Skills going over to Ice-T's base. These elephants
Both are
could be a pretty
focusing.
formidable stampede. And I think we see now why he was fish booming earlier. It was to get the food to be able to afford all of these elephants. And Ice-T doesn't know about this elephant stampede, but he's learning about it just now. He's made one monk. I don't know if one monk is going to be enough.
One monk should not be good enough because there are some skirmishers as well, and he definitely need more units to counter them.
Now, Ice-T simultaneously is pushed in on J Skills, and J Skills loses a villager here. So Ice-T does get an elephant conversion. And he's trying to build another monastery. J Skills has killed some villagers, though. It's been, I think, some respectable damage. J Skills has a 6-villager lead over Ice-T because of what he's been doing.
Both have been fighting both on water as well as land, so they are doing a good aggression on each other. Let's see who kills more now, because Ice-T is on fishing ships for J skills, and he is losing water.
Yeah, and J Skills is on Ice-T's dock as well. He's got a couple of Hulks here. And Ice-T has 4 Hulks on J Skills' other dock. So they're both pressuring each other's docks. Ice-T building a castle on his forward minerals, which is a good idea. This castle will secure a gold, a stone, and then maybe this other gold here too, with range upgrades. Actually, he has both, so it doesn't quite secure this stone. J Skills having to regroup and heal up his elephants. And so he's got elephant, and he's got some crossbows, and he's got some skirmishers. He's also added another town center. And Ice-T still working on this dock. These Hulks take a long time to tear down docks, which is not a bad thing. J Skills has not really formulated a response to these Hulks yet. So where does the game go from here, ThNagraj?
I think it should go up to him because and like whoever is having a better eco, I assume Ice-T should add town centers now and get Will lead because he's in a good spot right now. He can defend well from here on. He can also produce Bengali monks, which are very hard to kill. And he has a lot of water control. He's killing a lot of fishing ships, so he should be ahead. Although while I'm saying that, J Skills has better resources and he should be able to click up to him faster.
Yeah, J Skills did manage to stop Ice-T's, some of Ice-T's advances on his fishing economy. Ice-T sending a band of 5 crossbows, just Ice-T things that he likes to do. Pick off some villagers with them. J Skills loses 1 villager, hasn't responded yet. Alright, he responds now. He's got multiple things going on. Oh, those are chickens. Yeah, J Skills is still building up here. Ice-T going into the Rathas. Are Rathas good in this situation?
Uh, Based on they are knight equivalent and they can change modes as well. So I think Ratha is a very good unit, but he doesn't have any upgrade. He has archer upgrades on them, but he doesn't have any melee upgrades on them. So they should not be able to perform very well in close combat against elephants.
It's a very unique chariot type unit. Okay, so here we go. We got some
Or chariot.
battle elephants. And crossbow just waiting. J Skills content to let these units hang out here, I guess. He doesn't really want to engage. Ice-T with the forward siege workshop. Does J Skills... What does J Skills know? Yeah, he doesn't know about that forward siege workshop. But this is evidence that Ice-T is planning his demise sooner rather than later. Could J Skills actually be saving up for Imperial Age? He's got nearly 1,000 food in the bank. And the gold is trickling upward as well. What would J Skills even do with Imperial Age if he got there?
I think it should be elephants and siege to push.
He's building a university now. So he's definitely going to Imp. The prerequisite buildings. J Skills has clicked Imp, everybody. J Skills.
Yeah.
That's very, very, very risky. You know, that's 1,800 resources, and his opponent has not clicked Imp. His opponent is investing those resources in Castle Age. And Ice-T dropping a castle right on J Skills' face. Look at this. J Skills should try to deny it. I think he's going to try to deny it. Maybe he realizes it's futile now. Elephant's here trying to stampede this monk. Ice-T getting a conversion. This fight is not going to be a good one for J Skills. The Rathas are going to clear up the crossbows, and the castle goes up anyway. Now, J Skills looks like he did manage to convert a Ratha. And he has a few reinforcements behind.
Yeah, they both got conversion. He got elephant and he got Ratha. Both got conversions.
Ice-T adding another castle. So J Skills has got to be happy about these castles, really. I mean, it's a big investment, and Ice-T does not know that J Skills is imping. So, you know, as far as Ice-T is concerned, this is a panic castle. But as far as J Skills is concerned, this is a trebuchet castle.
This should be a good castle to push back from here on. And he has good equivalent eco as well as army. So this should be a game for J Skills to lose.
J Skills is game to lose, says ThNagraj. So in other words, J Skills is in a winning position right now. Ice-T canceled the siege elephant, and is selling all of his resources to click up. Yeah, he sold some gold. And so Ice-T does not want to be too far behind to the Imperial Age himself. J-Skills should be making Trebuchet immediately. And if we look over at the queue, that's exactly what he's doing. We'll click on the castle to see it in a little bit greater detail. So J-Skills needs a good plan here. He could go up to Imperial Age and slowly make trebuchets. I would love to see him make some siege elephant type thing, or some rams or something, to give himself an advantage to win the Treb War. Because right now Ice-T is winning the Treb War, right? Ice-T has 2 castles that can make trebuchets, and J-Skills has only 1. J-Skills switching into light cav too. I think the light cav will be very helpful for dealing with the monks. Because the elephants, they're very wishy-washy. Elephants change their minds a lot. They're very easy to bribe with flattery and spells from monks.
They are not monk resistant, so that's why he is going into light cap. And Bengali monks more harder to kill, so he cannot expect to not get converted while fighting with the monks. A good choice to go into light cav, and I think he's going to raid with those light cav a little bit. Yes.
Ice-T coming back here with some Rathas just to be annoying, just to make J-Skills respond. He's also repairing this castle. J-Skills has 2 trebuchets on the castle now. I don't know if it's worth sending the light cabs in to clear up repair villagers. Ice-T working on this blacksmith too to prevent J-Skills from... Not prevent him, but just slow down J-Skills' initiative. J-Skills has an advantage in the Treb War now. He starts with 3 trebuchets, and they have the same number of castles. And so J-Skills should totally charge this castle as quickly as he can. I think Ice-T is going to go back. I don't think Ice-T is going to continue to contest this area. I think he's got to build stuff back here. And yeah, he is adding another range. Ice-T should have a bigger economy than J-Skills. He does. He's got basically a 35 villager lead. And oh no, J-Skills' trebuchets accidentally got caught up with the main group, and they did not unpack to attack this castle. I don't think Ice-T is making any trebuchet from this. Yeah, he's not making any trebuchets from this castle, though. He's basically just going to take what stone he can and then leave. J-Skills attempted a scout raid up here, but he didn't go very far because I don't think he had the Pierce Armor upgrades. Yeah, he's missing some Pierce Armor on his light cabs. What are your thoughts, ThNagraj?
Yeah, he only got first armor on his cavalry and no armor beyond that. So, and his blacksmith is already down, so I think he's building a new blacksmith to get these armors. He should be pushing for more aggressively because he is behind in eco and he has a better timing for him. If he gives Ice-T time to boom up and have a military, then he won't be able to win this game from.
Ice-T is
putting more.
Ice-T is making some elephant archers. I'd love to see J-Skills mix a few monks in to convert elephant archers. It could be effective, especially if the elephant archers are low in number. But J-Skills hasn't really built many more production buildings. I don't know if he's got the resources for it. He doesn't really have the resources for it. But at least he's destroying Ice-T's production buildings. So Ice-T can't be too happy about that. But what's J-Skills going to do about these elephant archers? I guess he's going to go into Skirmisher. He's researching Elite Skirmisher now.
Yeah, Elite Scum is the option for him or going monks. But since the number will keep getting higher, Elite Scum is the better option.
Yep. And he's got a bunch of Elite Skirmishers queued up. He's making them from 4 archery ranges, and he set the gather point forward. He's also packing up his trebuchets for an assault on the castle which he knows about. He knows about either castle. IT has presumably had to build some more archery ranges somewhere else. Yeah, he's rebuilding his archery ranges up in the north by his older castle. Now, this is still a dangerous number of... the trebuchets actually attack the elephant archers, which is kind of funny. Sort of effective, too. I like how he's using the trebuchets as weapons against the elephant archers. Can a trebuchet one-shot an elephant archer? No, it cannot. An elephant archer has 280 HP, this elite, and the trebuchet only does 200 damage. But, I mean, still, every little bit helps, right?
Yeah, trebuchet helps, but it does not kill in one shot. Also, while all this commotion was going on, J-Skills sent some light cab under the TC of Ice-T to raid, and that was a good move because it keeps focus distracting for Ice-T. And he has a better counter unit for these elephant archers. Let's see if he's able to close this game with from here on or not.
Yeah, he sent some monks forward to get some conversions, but I still don't think J-Skills quite has the mass of skirmishers that he needs to fight Ice-T here. I think he needs to pull back his trebuchets and build up a better mass of skirmishers. He's only got 19 skirmishers. Or build up like 10 monks to help him. Ice-T clearing this up with some very powerful elite elephant archers. They appear to be mostly fully upgraded except they're missing chemistry. And yeah, that's exactly what J-Skills is doing. He's pulling back. You know, J-Skills has got to be feeling pretty good right now, right? Like, you've got the 5% handicap. You made it to Imperial Age where the handicap can really start to kick in for a large-scale fight. And this 2K player has not really managed to kill you or do too much damage to you yet. You've got 97 villagers. So, you know, if you're J-Skills right now, there's not, like, you know, there's no hurry. Is he caught up fully in the boom? Well, no, but, you know, he did decent damage. He kept his opponent busy for a while. He's teched into the right counter units, and it's just a matter of amassing them and getting all of the upgrades. Ice-T splitting up his elephant archers here, so he's got 19 elephant archers, and J-Skills has 21 skirmishers, so it might sound like J-Skills has an advantage in numbers, but not really, because these are elephant archers, they're not skirmishers. But if Ice-T splits up his elephant archers, then the skirmishers could very well take good fights against them. So I love how Ice-T has built all these houses and stuff up here, just so that he can keep an eye on what his opponent is doing. J-Skills has built these outposts so that he'll know if Ice-T... Yeah, see, these outposts are telling him that Ice-T is expanding out to this area. Or at least is thinking about it. And he doesn't want that, so he sends an elephant to intercept. Meanwhile, he's got trebuchets rolling. These trebuchets will tell Ice-T that this castle is in trouble. And as you can see, Ice-T is heading back with his elephants immediately to deal with this. I think these trebs are going to die, but I think the castle will also die. I don't think that he can save it. It's a lot of very quick damage. J-Skills is going to come in to engage these elephant archers in a sort of suicidal push, just to buy his trebuchets time. The damage output for these elephants is too great. Ice-T actually rolling his trebuchets back. These trebuchets dealing with the castle, and now they're going to pack up and try to leave, but we have... Wait, what is this? We have two-handed swordsmen. ThNagraj, what's the deal with the two-handed swordsman?
Yeah, so Ice-T was taking behind into infantry behind his elephant archer. He knew that to counter his elephant archers, opponent will go scums, and for that he has champion already tagged. And with champions, he should be able to push everything back. Like scums and Hasad are both trash units, and he should be able to counter everything with champions. Also, like he has a... I think they don't get any infantry bonus, but they should be able to counter everything that J-Skills is making.
So Ice-T secretly tech switching into infantry, and luckily for J Skills, he had already researched chemistry, so he can just pump out hand cannons to deal with these champions. But it is a big expense, right? Hand cannons are pretty expensive.
Yeah, hand cannons are gold intensive unit. Also, it he would need a lot of mass because elephant archers would be able to counter them fairly easily. So I would prefer having Ice T's composition over J skills.
I thought that J Skills would go into the Scorpions, but that could require too much research to deal with the champions at this time. So Ice-T is trying to expand into this area. He's building a castle, and he destroyed one of J Skills' town centers. J Skills got a bunch of villagers he's sending forward. I'm wondering what's the deal with that. Maybe J Skills, it was a misclick? Or maybe he's overboomed, but I don't think he's overboomed because he only has 100 villagers. Less than that now. And
Yeah,
J Skills calling the GG. He just ran out of stuff. That infantry tech switch did him in. He says, I fell apart late and didn't get the pop-up. I think that's pretty accurate. What do you think, ThNagraj?
yeah, he had very good in going up to him. In early imp, he had very good advantage, but he had to push a lot harder than what he was doing. Like he was pushing one castle after killing both of his opponent's castle. He was building up military and then pushing slowly, but all the opponent had already tagged into elephant archers at that time. He got pushed back, and from there on, he was on a back foot all the time. So I think if you are having a doubt in mind that if you are lower elo as well as the opponent is better in micro and macro everything, you have to push harder. You have don't have to give anyone chance to tech switch and pull back.
I agree. I do think J Skills showed a lot of improvement between the first and the second game, though. In the second game, he kind of did a better job of reading what his opponent was up to, and he made it up. He made it to later on in the game against a really tough opponent, and going up against Ice-T is non-trivial. Ice-T has won multiple times in Alchemy League before. Like he is one of our toppy tip of the toppy tier champions. I don't have the statistics in front of me. I couldn't tell you how much he's won versus everybody else, but for J Skills to have lasted this long and really, frankly, both the games is even with the handicap, for him to last this long is a very honorable accomplishment. And Ice-T showing us how it's done as well. Kind of like a reigning champion. I think he's done pretty well this sprint too. So Ice-T with some creative takedowns, but he does win 2-0. But I just want you to know that J Skills put up a really great fight, and we're proud of both players.
Yeah, this was a good set to cast, and it was really fun to see how they tagged into everything and they countered each and every one.
I really appreciate you joining us. Let's go into the statistics real quick and see if anything pops out. So Ice-T with 300 kills, 175 deaths. Well, that's, Elephant Archer kill to death ratio for you. A more even exchange of buildings destroyed, but the advantage still goes to Ice-T. J Skills with 4 conversions. He had a larger army, but they were largely skirmishers. J Skills with better food and wood collected. Ice-T with better stone and gold collected. Ice-T with better feudal and castle advancement times. J Skills up to Imperial Age, by more than 3 minutes of an advantage, which was pretty decisive for him. They had similar exploration percentages. Ice-T researched more. Ice-T with 8 total castles. J Skills with 5 relics captured. He had more relic gold. Ice-T had more villagers overall. So I thought this was a pretty compelling set. I really appreciate the ThNagraj for coming in and joining us. So before we close the stream, Any final comments on the set, Nagraj?
I would just say like both sets was really fun to co-cast, and this was a fun set to have them play, and both have like very good starts. Like one we saw like fully aggressive. They how they mind game each other. That was the thing in first set. Like uh in second map he went fast castle, being Vikings, but he mind game the opponent thinking he would be aggressive, and he played from there on. So I think this was both showing that we just mind game each other to show which strat we are going to follow.
All right, Nagraj, everybody, thank you so much. Be sure to visit Nagraj's channel. He's on Twitch. And you can also find him in our community as well. He's pretty active there. So thank you so much, Nagraj. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you for inviting me.